So in the meantime, till others join, I just quickly would like to have discussion with you all. Anybody who would like to share any insights, like any graphic designers on this particular webinar? Anyone? Rishoni, can they unmute themselves or we will have to?
Um, I think if people wanna reply, it'll be better if they leave a text.
Yeah, they can text it. Okay, yeah. So that it'll be easy for me.
Yep. Um, cool. So
Any
we
graphic
have.
designers? Okay, so are we done with the graphic design workshop?
Yes, that was our first one, and yesterday we had product designing. So uh, yours is the third session. Um, cool. So it's 4:30. I think we'll start the session.
Perfect, no problem. So I just would like to anybody who have done UI UX before in this group,
Um,
anyone?
I'll, I'll start the session. I'll give a little introduction, and then I think we can take off.
No, yeah, no problem. But I would just like to know the kind of audience so that when I'm going through, I will have an idea as to do I need to go right from deep basics, or if they are designers already, then I'll can take them from another point of view. So, what is the kind of audience? Are college going students, or if you could just brief me on that?
Um, I'm not sure. I guess a few of them have a little idea about designing and stuff. But it'll be
Students.
nice if you can start off from the basics. I think it'll help them more. Cool.
Yes,
Okay,
most of
great.
them are college-going students, Karan, and no, they are best in the introductory level, basics.
Okay, great, great. No problem. Uh, was that Akshay?
Yeah.
Yes, yes, Karan. Hi, hi.
Okay, okay. Great. So, should I start or should I?
Yes, Vishuni, you can go ahead and introduce and let's start.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. Hi, everybody. Good evening. I'm Rashoni. So, thank you for joining us to the design series. Today is the third session. The design series is organized by Literacy Helping Hands in association with Quesite. Today we have Karan Shah. He is the senior designer at Geeta Digital Arts. He's also a web designer at TEDx Hyderabad and also the founder of 8FX Media. So he'll be teaching us the basics of UI UX designing. So over to you, Karan.
Okay. Thank you so much, Rishoni, for a good introduction. Okay, so I will just put a few things about me as a journey, what it all began, so that it helps you all also understand it.
Mhm.
I hope I'm completely audible.
Yeah, yes.
Perfect, great. Is it necessary to have video, or I can be on without video?
You can share your video as well. I think that'll be great.
I'll prefer not to share right now. I'll share it at the end. While we are having the Q&A, we will do it.
Okay,
Okay,
cool.
perfect. Otherwise, it will distract the audience.
Okay.
So, so I started off into designing right after my 10th class. That's how I got into the field of design. And how was I moved towards design was like I was going on to the streets, and then I saw a lot of hoardings, and then I thought that hoardings are something that keep changing every week, and that they would be a good demand in that particular field. And then I thought someday I would also get into that, and that my designs would come up on the hoardings. So that is where the idea sparked that I would like to go into this design field. And before all of that, yes, I was more towards the creative side and not towards studies. So I would tell I was not so studious. I used to come first, but maybe from the bottom, never from the top. So that is a short on my studies side. And I never enjoyed studying. I didn't like studies much. So I was more oriented towards creative side, good at drawing, painting. That was like my hobbies back then. And then I was like, I could have gone into drawing and painting as a career, but then I thought it might be very difficult to get into a level like how painters go into. Then I thought digital is something that is picking up fast, and then hoarding sparked that idea. And then I thought, let's get into design. And then I started to self learn from online and from internet itself and from YouTube. So that's how I started to explore what all softwares are there for designing. And slowly I started doing. And then when I joined my degree first year, that's when I started 8FX as a company. And then it's been a 5 year long journey. And before me starting my own company, I used to work like a freelance designer for a lot of people. So, so what is UI UX is something very, technical topic, I would tell, but at the same time, it is fun. And first, I would like to give you a brief introduction as to what is the scope of this as a field, as a career, and then we will get into the nitty gritties of it. So, does UI UX mean? So basically, we use a lot of things on our day-to-day basis. We use so many mobile apps. We use so many daily activities that we do, like we are having a bath, or we are having food, we are having a spoon, we are having so many other things, like in the kitchen there are so many items that you use to make all your food items. And then to make your life easy, you are inventing newer and newer things. So basically, you are trying to solve a user's problem by making it easy or by innovating something. So it's not that UI UX has been something new. It has been existent since the human has been evolving. It's just that these terms got evolved recently as UI and UX. So, but in computer and in form of design, they mean a separate thing. But if you ask me, as a user experience, it implies to everything that you are using in your day-to-day life, like how you use a chair, how you are using a pen. So, is the pen easy to catch? Whether the grip of the pen is good or not. Let's say if you're using a perfume, is it easy to open? So it's an experience altogether. So if you're going for shopping, where is the washroom in that mall? For you, it should be easy to find that thing into the mall. It's so that is the whole about the experience of a user. If I have entered a hotel or if I have entered a restaurant, I should be easy to find the washroom. So I should not be asking the waiter or the person of the place. So that is called as user experience. So a user should be able to find whatever is looking for in the very easiest possible way. So that is all about the experience. And if the experience is good, your customer is happy. And if the customer is happy, he is going to keep on coming back to you. So that is all about a experience that you are creating. So similarly, everything that we are doing in our day-to-day life or anywhere, it's all about the experience that we are trying to create. And experience is the biggest thing these days, and it has become the first priority for any new thing that is coming up into the market. So for example, Zoom. Why we all are using this Zoom? Why are we using this Zoom? Because it is very easy to use. The experience of using this Zoom call, Zoom chat is very easy. It is not so tough for people to learn. But whereas there's so many tons of other apps, Skype or Hangouts or Google Meets or Microsoft Teams, WebEx. There are so many other similar softwares available in the market, but still we end up using Zoom. So what is the reason? The biggest reason why Zoom worked or it became so big overnight during this lockdown was because the experience that it was giving to the users. So multiple experiences. One, it was very easy to use, very easy to understand. At the same time, it was giving great features which others were not giving, like recording feature, screen sharing, and then a lot of other features where you are able to mute others, unmute others, share your video, have multiple people at one go. And at the same time, he was giving 45 minutes of calling for free for 100 of people. So which is a great thing for a user as an experience. That is why Zoom worked. And the best part why Zoom worked even more is because it was the same experience from a mobile or it was the same experience from a desktop. The look and feel of the whole application remained the same. You had the same six boxes on the mobile also to join call or create a new meeting or to create an account, and the same options are also on the desktop. And at the same time, it used to allow you to manage it very seamlessly with all the reminders that you could set. So that is all about the experience. Okay, so this whole of this experience is called as UX. So UX stands for the user experience. Anyone, any doubts over here? Please feel free to put on chat. I will be happy to go in depth of any of the topic. It's okay. We will learn the basics. We cannot complete whole of UI UX because for me as a UI UX designer, even today I every day keep evolving, keep learning. There is no end to this particular subject, and everybody has various of opinions towards it. And I'll come to UI. So first we are understanding UX, and there are multiple opinions for different kinds of people from country to country. The experience would be different, would change. Now coming to the UI. Okay, so one is we understood the experience. So if the experience is good, the customer is happy, and if the customer is happy, he's going to stick with you. And coming to the UI part, UI stands for user interface, what they see. So what is the interface that they are looking at? So for example, if you are going to use Paytm app, as soon as you open Paytm, or let's say if you're using Zomato, as soon as you open Zomato, what is it that you first see on the screen? So behind every app, there is tons of coding that is involved. There is backend coding, database coding. Your ID passwords are getting stored somewhere. Your order history is being stored. Your invoice is generated. There is a delivery boy who is getting notified. You are getting a notification, and when the delivery has arrived, you're again getting an SMS. You're getting a notification. So all of this is at the programming point of view, from the backend side, and at the same time all of this adds in value in the experience point of view. It's creating a good experience for you, which is telling you, okay, within 2 minutes my food is going to arrive. And what is UI over here is on the screen. If you're using Uber app or Zomato, you're able to see the car moving from destination on the map. So that is the interface. In the interface you are able to see, so whatever you are seeing it live on the app, on the screen, whichever screen. It could be a desktop screen, mobile screen, or any other tablet screen outside. If you have gone to PVR or any other place, they have put a lot of tablets which has multiple, apps into it for surveys and all of that. So that is all about the UI. And UI is more from a design point of view. So how good you design is how easy it for the users to understand. And the biggest challenge is like it is very difficult to design to make things easier. uh, so the simplest of the simplest design at times takes most level of difficulty, but otherwise, if you have to just put everything on a piece of white paper, it is very easy for any designer to do. But how to make it look pleasing is the biggest challenge, and how to make it look simple is the even more bigger challenge. So that is where UI comes in place as to what a user will see in the very first go. How much information should I give to the user in the very first go or in every screen step by step? That is when he is going to create a that is going to create a good experience for the user to use the app. So for example, if you are using Google Pay. I'm sure most of you must have used Google Pay. So you open Google Pay, you will see all the chat symbols over there, and then it doesn't show you how much money you have in your account. It does not show you who all you have paid last. If you put all of that in the very first go, it will become too cluttered on the screen. So he very intelligently designed. But whereas Paytm, he puts lot of clutter onto its app. So people shifted from Paytm to Google Pay. The major reason for people to shift was the UI. Paytm might be much more better than Google Pay, but people got onto Google Pay because people know, if I have to deal with payments, let me use Google Pay. But Paytm tried to evolve into flights, into booking of movie tickets, into multiple things. So it does not remain focused towards one thing anymore. Paytm as such, it got into Paytm Mall, shopping, everything. So a UI will play a very big role. I will share my screen so that I can share a PPT with you all, so I can take you through a step-by-step flow. So just to explain, UI stands for user interface, UX stands for user experience. So they could have called it as UE, experience short form, but they have taken the second letter of experience. So that's why they use UX, because it's easy to spell. UE might not be easy to spell. So UI, UX. So it doesn't become like a tongue twister. That's why it's called UI, UX. And if you Google these days, UI UX is one of the booming industry. Every IT company or every startup or anyways, this they would need people who are good at UI UX designing. Okay. At the same time, there is also called as UI UX development. So development is all about the programming of those particular designs. So if I have designed something, somebody has to program it that way so that it looks the same whatever you have designed, or it functions the same as to however you have thought to give the experience. So there are two things into it. One is UI UX designer and one is UI UX developer when people are involved. So I belong to the UI UX designer category. Now, if you ask me, can I develop also? No, I cannot develop because I have not learned that part of the skill, and nor I would like to learn because it is completely different. You pick something and you try to become master over it. That's more than enough. And when you and there have been opportunities where big MNCs who are located in multiple countries, they have approached, got their UI UX just designed from me on consultancy basis. So I design it for them and I just give the screenshots to them. And then thereafter, they take care of the experience part of it or the programming part of it. So I design the UI and then I design the UX as the how the experience of the user should be. So let me take you to the next step as to how do you do this. So let me tell you what are the tools that we would use. So majorly for the UX, okay, we will start with user experience because that is the first goal. So once you're clear with that, only then you can plan on your UI. Anybody would like to ask any doubt over here, please ask me, please unmute and ask, and only then I will get into the next step because I would be happy if you are clear with the concept as to what is UI, what is UX first. I'm sure it might be very new for you all, trying my level best to make it simpler and easy. Any doubts, please ask me in the chat or you can unmute and ask. Come on, don't hesitate to ask. It will be great if you can ask. No doubts. Everybody is fully clear. Oh, everybody's already bored about this as to what am I talking. It's clear. Okay, somebody has messaged it's clear. Any okay. So let me go next. No doubts. Perfect. So what are the tools? So there are multiple tools for doing the UI, but let me first come to the UX. So the biggest tool that you will do use for UX would be pen and the paper, because you have to plan it on your paper, or you can use various web tools as mind maps. They are called as mind maps. So it's all about what is in your mind, you put it out over there in a structured format. So it's like, if you're making, so let us take an input, like what kind of app you would like to make. Can anybody random thing, and then we will build the UX for it. Let's make it interactive. Let's decide features each other, and then it will be great if you all are interactive. Can I have anybody giving an idea for any app? Any idea? Come on, we have 100 people over here. Bing homepage, no, that will not be a great example. Fitness app, okay, that's a good example. We can work around fitness app. OTT platform app, great. We can work around OTT platform app. Any other app which can wish my friend happy birthday? Okay, that's good. But why would you? Okay, examination seating arrangements. Okay, good. So let me tell you, app which can wish my friend happy birthday. This already exists, and every app that we all have mentioned does exist. So what is something innovation that you can do is something that we can think about it later, but let's get into what is common for all to understand. Something that is booming during this lockdown period out of all these apps that have been booming is OTT platforms, like apps like Netflix, Amazon Prime, Woot. These have been booming during this lockdown, so I'm sure each of you might be knowing that. Translation app. Okay, great, good idea. Pujita has given good ideas. Okay, nice, good to know that, Pujita. And Ashish would like to make something like Google Pay. No, let's not get into payment thing because it's too monotonous. So I will not take that as an app because everybody will have every answer looking at multiple apps. So let me take something that can become challenging. Social platform for farmers. Okay, so self-learning app. Okay, so it's like Byju's career guidance app. Okay, that's also part of various other apps. Apps for college student does exist. Okay, so can we do voting? I'll put three apps over here as names. Let's pick on voting. Okay, tell me one, two, or three. OTT platform. I'm putting two as. Let me pick up so that it'll be good learning. I'm just picking from what all you have given. Mm, sketch apps like having all government related documents in single app like DOB, Aadhaar, and all. Okay. Translation, Google Pay, Shop. Yeah. Okay. So I've put all the four options which we could think around. All the four can have a good discussion. So please comment major voting for which one, two, or three, or four. Okay, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, one, two, three, also one. Okay, great. One, I think major is one. Okay, most of you took it as one. I've got second highest is two, and third is three only. Nobody went into fourth. Okay, so I can start with one. So I can tell you how many of you people have used this app called AHA. Okay, I have two people who have used it. Never heard about it even. Good. See, that is what it is. So even if I know but not used. No, no. Okay, great. So awesome. So I have very good things to show to you. Uh, Great if you have not used it because I too don't like the app. But there are a lot of good things that they are doing, and it's a platform for only Telugu movies and web series that they have come, which is restricted only to Telugu movies and web series. It's similar to Netflix, Amazon, and any of your other apps like that. So AHA is focused only for bringing Telugu movies onto one particular platform. A lot of old Telugu movies and upcoming Telugu movies, and also they are making their own originals, and they are coming up with a lot of kids content also soon. And it has been a great opportunity that I had got a chance to work with them on the UI UX front. So what I've worked on them is not yet out, but I can be happy to show it to you over here. At the same time, currently they don't have a good UI UX in place, so they don't have great UI. Though they have good content at times, they don't have good UI, so the app fails. And at times they have a very good UI, but they don't have good content. Even then, the app fails. And coming to shopping apps, I will come to that also. I have a great project done on that, so I can pick something around that, and I can show you what is the whole step and process. And then coming to the career guidance app, we will discuss around it, not in depth, but I'll be happy to take inputs. So what are the things that are involved in a OTT platform? What are the features? Can we? I think it would be more good if have voice conversation, but then
Uh, yes, Karan, excuse me. Are you going to share any screen with participants?
I will now. I'll share
Okay,
screen so that it'll become easier just after I complete
sure,
this discussion. So I'll actually share the screen.
sure. So if anyone wants to just pitch it in, so they can raise their hand, and if you can say that to unmute anyone, we can unmute them so they can also speak up.
Okay, great. No problem. So who would like to pick up? Any questions over here before we proceed? Otherwise, I will then proceed into next step. Anyone, put your hands up. No? Okay, so I will just share my screen. Yeah, can you all see my screen?
Yes, Karan, it's
Yeah.
visible.
Okay, great. So let me tell you what are the things that is involved before we even design any of the app. So UI is also called as interaction design, okay, which you see on the left hand side. And then interaction design is how you interact, okay, so it's the experience how you're interacting from step after the other. So what you design is UI, but the whole process of it is the interaction as to how you're using it step by step. And then comes, so after you have planned what is the idea, okay, then you actually get into the prototyping of it, so that is called as wireframes. So what are wireframes? I will actually show it to you. So I will take a shopping app as an example because I do have files ready with me right away, and I can show it to you all. So I was working on a shopping app in between, and I was working around an idea for it, and I have complete set of wireframes that have been designed. So as to how the app should go from one step to other step. So is my screen visible, or I'll have to share it again?
You'll have to share it again.
Okay, you can see it now, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is what you're seeing on the screen is called as wireframe. Okay, so it's basically all the outline version of the app. There are no colors, there is no button design, there are no images into it. It is just the lines that are visible over here. So this is a shopping app that I was working on. So I'm like, as you can see, everything will be self-explanatory. If you can see on the left, I have written app options, and then the app logo would come, then the location icon, notifications, and search. Okay, this is something that I have planned. And then below it, I thought I'll have stores, brands, and offers. So related to shopping. So this app was around, building a place for offline shops where they could come where they could showcase all the offers. So there is no app today, even today there is no such app which could tell you offers that are going on in a shop which is offline. So like what is the offer going in Shopper Stop? I don't know it. What is the offer that is in Pantaloons or Reliance Trends or West Side? I might not know that. So two people have raised their hands. Could you please unmute them so that they can discuss? Hello.
Yes,
Yeah.
we unmuted them.
Yeah, please tell me.
Manikumar, you can please tell.
Okay, I'll continue. So
Yes.
there is no app that will tell you about the offers. So it's very important, to give them also a platform where stores could come tell what are the offers going on over there. So that is something around that is what I was working upon. So that is one. And then if they are searching, what are the options that would come into the search as to normal search, advanced search. So when they are searching, what all can they search? They can search for stores, brands, items, Reebok, or they can search for subcategories, that is in advanced search, like in menswear, I want to particularly search for shoes and a particular brand, and then what are the search that would come. So this is all the wireframe. And let's say if I would like to know about some store that is existing in the area, a new store. So if I've gone to Bangalore and then I would like to know about a new store, so I can just browse about it and then get all the information as to what is the information of the store, how the photos of how the store would look, then the contact details or the location, what are the highlights of that particular store. So this is just the wireframe of the whole app. It is not the app that is designed, it is the planning stage. And then how it would look would be completely different. So this is the whole process of this. What I've just shown you is called as wireframing. And I will then show you another thing. Same wireframing would happen for web also. So I will now take you into that so that you get an idea as to how you will have the UI for UX for the website. So I will just share my screen. Yeah, can is my screen visible?
Yes.
Okay. So I will just okay. So this is on the web. As to this is again a wireframe. As you can see, that there will be a store name. On the left hand side, I will have all the information of the store, and on right hand side, I will have what are the information, what are the brands that they deal in, what are the offers that they are giving. If people would like to give comments, guest book, and then this is all about the loyalty cards. Like if they would have any loyalty cards that people would like to buy or something. And then this is like the home page of that particular website that I thought, where you have an artwork on top, then what are the featured offers, then you could have all the search for various other brands and stores. So this is the basic idea of a wireframe. So multiple screens, so right from login, how if I click on something, what will next come, what come in register, what will come in search. So every step. Okay, so I was taking inspiration from Zomato, so these are some screenshots of Zomato. So you can simply tell it this way also. Zomato did it for restaurants, I wanted to do it for shops. So we just want to list all the stores, give stores the platform where they could list all their offers and all. So this is like a UX flow, like a PT that I have made quickly. So it like a user will register, then he will log in, then he will this is all the options that he would see in his account, what all would drop down, what all would come in search. If he's searching Reebok can be as a brand, Reebok can be as a store, and Reebok any offer that it is giving. So all the three should be visible. And then there's the home page, then coming to the inner store page, and then this is coming to the offers page. Then if I click on any particular offer, what are the terms and conditions of those offer and all of that. And then the loyalty cards. And then they might then stores are different and malls are different. So malls would also have like food courts, movie screens and all of that. So I thought on those lines also. And then if you want to add your existing loyalty card, and vouchers if you would like to buy offline store vouchers, so information of that voucher, how it would pop. And then all the vouchers, so what are the collections, like some of the things that you have liked, you can put it in my collection kind of thing. So that is like a rough idea framework that was made. And then you enter into the this is called the wireframing part. Okay, where you are designing the whole idea into a wireframe and putting all that you are going to have it in your app or website. And then comes the UI part of it. So then we designed a UI for it roughly, not fully though. And I will just open those two pages so that you all can get an idea. 1 minute, I will just share them with you. So the same thing just now what we saw in terms of you wireframe, I will just show that in terms of this thing. So can you see now? The same thing, I've just designed it, how it would look. So what are the tours, what are the featured stores? It is the same thing what was there in the wireframe. This is how it would come. And then the inner store page, you can see covering offers, photos, products, brands, reviews, and photos of the store. What are the offers of brands and products? Are you getting an idea? So this is how it would go, like right from wireframe it would get into a UI point of view. So this is the UI, user interface, what you are looking. So it's just an image. So this is an image, it is not even coded, nothing is done, it is just an image, and it has been just designed on Photoshop software based on the idea. So people have questions, I would be happy to ask. So we got this thing, are we running out of time? Can you please move on further? Okay, great. So the next step is to what are the tools that we might use for UI UX. So for UI designing, there are multiple tools. You can note them down. We use Photoshop, we use Adobe Illustrator, we use XD, Adobe XD, and then we have other tools like called as Figma, Figma. There are Protopie. Then there is an other app that you can use, that is in InVision Studio. So there are multiple such apps which are used to design your user interface. And then once the whole app is designed, then what you do is you put all your frames one after the other, and then you need to make a prototype out of it as to how it would look. So what is prototyping is basically how in actual it would be made. After the coding, you just create all those screens ready, and then you keep it ready. So I can show you a rough prototype also as to how it works. It is not at all coded, so I will just open it for you and then share my screen as to how a prototype would look like and how it would work. I'm just opening that. Any questions or doubts over here, please ask me. Anyone? Any? Feel free to ask. Happy to address them. So coming to prototype, I will quickly share my screen. So that is getting loaded. So till that loads, prototyping is nothing but it's a creating of all your screens for the app, and then taking it into one step after the other step, where if I click on this, what would happen? If I click on that, what would happen? So for the AHA app, this is one of the prototype that I had created. If you all can see my screen, so this is not a real app. It is completely only purely on design, but you can see I can use it like a real app. I can browse it completely like a real app. This is called as prototyping. I can click on the menu, though this is not at all coded. Everything is made in terms of design. So when I'm clicking it, I can just get into it. I can click on it, get into the movie, and then my watch list, what are my favorites. You can see the tags on top that I'm using, my search, how it would look, my normal search or voice search. Then if there are any, this thing, what we tell, discover. So this is like today, what are the other new features that you could do on any kind of OTT app? Okay, so something is like yes, maybe tomorrow my mood was to watch horror, but today I would like to watch only comedy. So I thought of creating this feature where I would like to watch more of comedy and action movie. So I can do that, and I can then press discover. So something like how we have dating apps where you could do left and right swiping, I thought let's do it for movies. So where, okay, if I like this movie, I will put it to my watch list. I don't like it, I'll throw it. So you can do something like this based on your selection. Your list is ready, and then you can decide what to watch. So this is something that, as an innovation, what we could do. Then other innovation that is all about parental control as to how you can have family mode, personal mode, right, like a switch, so that you can hide all your adult content. And that is something. And then remote TV is something that we thought over here, where I could turn this on, and then with this only I could control the TV which is synced already in my home. So features like this is what innovates the whole app, and that is all about you planning it as an experience point of view, and then you designing it. So now if you would ask me, though this is not coded, how is all of this done? How is it possible to make it look like a real app? How is all of this scrolling? How is all of this working? So I will, how is this working, all of this? So this is done using a tool called protopy, which is best tool for making prototyping, where you convert your images into an actionable uh, portion. So let me take any doubts from here.
There are a few questions actually to the host. So first thing is, no, can you please repeat the tools which you have listed before?
Yeah, I'll be happy to type them in the meeting. So if you ask me this, what you're seeing on my screen, what is I have used for this is just Photoshop and protopy. These are the only two tools, and instead of protopy I could have done it in Adobe XD as well, but protopy is much more easier than Adobe XD. If I have to do this in Adobe XD, I might have to make maybe 7 8 screens for just this to happen. Like every scroll I would have had to make each and every screen, but over here what I have done is I have made this whole top to bottom as single image, and I'm just scrolling that image. Actually, it is not the real thing that is getting scrolled, it's just an image. So I'll show you the breakdown of it so you all will get the process idea. Yeah, so what is the next step after prototype? Okay, great. So after prototype, it is nothing. It's more about, you getting into the coding part of it. Once you have logged all your features, once you have completely decided as to what is the exact thing that is happening. So now over here, I exactly know what all is going to happen. So it's very easy for the coders to understand what all they need to code. So it would then go into the coding part of side, which I will not deviate into it. But for this to happen, okay, like what will come in the watch screen, how will I differentiate my watch screen? So if you notice, today it is very difficult on Netflix or Amazon Prime also to tell whether this is a web series or it's a single movie, whether it has multiple episodes or it has only single episode. So to solve that problem from a user point of view, from an experience point of view, what could have been done? So if you can see on my screen, I don't know if I can zoom it. No, I have added, this orange color cards in the background. So I am just seeing if I can zoom it. No, I cannot zoom it. So yeah, you can see there is orange color card, so that automatically tells me that there are multiple episodes into it. So that solves my problem. So if I'm having multiple things on a screen, I can just differentiate. Okay, this is a movie and this part is a web series. So you can, so that is like solving a problem. So you need to solve the problem. So immediately once your prototype is ready, it's very important that take a real user inputs as to how they are using the app, because how well ever you plan it, user might not get it the same way. So it's very important to understand from a user's perspective. So, and the best
Yes.
way to test it is to give it to people from the age of 10 years to 18 years. So the 10-year ones are your real customers who can tell you all your problems. If a kid is not able to, if a 10-year-old kid is not able to use your app properly, that means you have failed somewhere. Like this kind of app, if he's able to use it properly, that means you have succeeded. Otherwise, there is something that you need to improvise. The factor why a 10-year-old is because he doesn't have more of learning on two apps. So if he's able to use it, believe me, anybody else can use it. So
Yes.
the key is over there. If he's able to order something on Flipkart, that means any person can order on Flipkart. Why I'm targeting 10-year-old people is to also understand that people who are in the old age, okay, from their 60s and above. So for them, these things are very new. So they also fall into the category as a new learners. So how easy it is for them also to learn is defined by a 10-year-old child's learning capability. So that is why if he can do it, believe it that anybody else above can take it as a good user experience. So yeah, questions, and then I'll get into more detail as to how this whole thing is done. I can show you the breakdown of it, so that you so like this menu coming and then all of this as an options. Yeah,
Yeah, there is a question, Karan.
yeah.
Um,
Tell me.
can we save the current file to get the coding of the part, like either HTML, JavaScript part?
No, currently no.
Okay.
There are possibilities. So you have designed two app prototypes using Adobe XD. That's great, Alekia. Good to know. If you would like to share, you can feel free to share it later. But coming to what you have asked, Akshay, after as soon as you prototype, you will have a ready code. No, it's not possible. technically. You might get one kind of code that is called as CSS, that is cascading style sheets, which talks about, what is the font size, color that you have used for that particular item. But you will not get the coding of the app. So that is not practically possible.
Yes. Okay, sure.
Yeah.
Rishoni, can you also please check your chat options because we
Yeah, I'm
have many
actually
in the
checking.
main.
I'm actually checking. So,
There are no questions as of
is
now.
there any prototype for web developers? Prototype for, could you tell in more detail, like what exactly you meant? Can we make APK version also? Yes, you can. So this prototype, what is there? I can export it as an APK, and I can give it like an option for people to download and use it. So yes, you can do that. And is there any option for web developers? So for web developers, you can still use Adobe XD and ProtoPie. I stick to ProtoPie because I can actually show you the software. So this is the software. I am opening it. So you all will get an idea as to how it works and how you design something. So if you are seeing something that is on this particular screen, it might look very simple, but at the time of designing it, this itself, what you're seeing as a whole, is like a project of 2 months, because 2 months, because it's right from planning and right from execution and then prototyping, multiple iterations, changes, all of that keeps happening. Apps like Adobe Illustrator, Photoshop, are these available for free? No, these apps belong to Adobe, and they are not for free. And at the same time, they are not so costly also. They come at a cost of 700 rupees a month if you go on a monthly package these days. And if you go on an yearly package, they come somewhere around for 35 to 40,000 one time payment. So it's good that you purchase them. Stay away from cracked versions of it. But on the good side, Adobe XD is free for everybody to use. It is a free software, Adobe XD, and you can use it for free. That's not a problem. Adobe Photoshop, any of these, Photoshop, Illustrator, they all give a 14-day trial. So you can download it, use your trial version, and keep progressing thereafter. So I'll stop my screen share and then I'll share it again to show you how it works on prototype. In the meantime, any other doubt, please ask me.
Alekia, you are asking about how to code the app, so that depends upon the platform and I think Android Studio and everything that takes place. So for that, we will be having another session of which is related to coding part.
Any other questions? Please ask if there are any, so that I can solve them. We are running out in time. Oh, oops. I mean, prototype for web. Yes, you are. There are various applications for web where you can do prototype. So you have Figma, Figma, where you can do it online, completely online. And which one is better, Adobe XD or prototype? It depends on you. I will tell. I have tried more than 7, 8 various different softwares, and out of all that, I felt for designing, I will still choose Photoshop and Adobe XD. But if you have to if I have to prototype, then I will use protopy, and I can also use principal, principle. Principal is only for Mac, but all the other softwares are available both for Windows and Mac. Configuration needed in system for protopy. A basic system would do with 4 GB RAM also. Even if you have Intel processor, with any basic processor, it would work. This does not take any lot of graphics. But coming to design point of view, to design any UI, yes, that might need a good system. So uh, you can use a minimum 8 GB RAM, and i3 or i5, anything above i3 is good to go for design as a system. Figma is for web. Yes. Is Principal free? No, Principal is not free. So what Photoshop is used for? So I'll actually show you some of the files so that you understand as to how it has been done. Uh, is my screen visible or not visible?
No, it's not.
Okay, great. Uh, I will just open up some of the Photoshop files so that they all can get an idea. So Photoshop is majorly used to design anything. It could be even used to design posters, not just UI. Anything that you see as hoarding designs or anything that you want to print these days, all of that are being designed on Photoshop and Illustrator. Illustrator. So if you have done graphic design, I'm not sure if they talked about vector graphics and raster graphics. There is a big difference. So vector is like the graphics that you make it in vector, you can scale up to as big as possible. It will not blur. But something that is designed in Photoshop will actually blur after a certain zoom. But whereas a vector file, however big you zoom it, it will not blur. So that is done on Illustrator. So most of the printing items are designed on Illustrator. Anything that is for digital and web is all designed on Photoshop. So all your social media creatives and all, if you're creating, you can do it on Photoshop. So not a problem on that. So like I'm just opening, just checking out if I can find some of the files to show. Yeah, I can find one thing to show. Okay. Okay, so this is how protopile looks like, where you have this as this thing, and then for you you have to start like, if I click on this, what would happen? If I click on this, what would happen? If I click on this, what would happen? If I click on, so you put those functions. So I can add some functions. So if I tap on it, what is it that it should happen? It should become big, or it should rotate, or it should change its color or whatever. So something is like that is what you can. So when I preview it, that is when I press run, you can see what is happening. So this is how you can prototype anything. So if I wish to change, okay, so let's say I'll create one more scene. Okay, so here it's called a scene. So I'll just add some let's say I'll add a shape of rectangle. Okay, I'm making it. So let's say this is the search, and then I will add some other option like circle. Okay, so I just put this. If I click on it, I want to change its color. If I click on it, I want to change its color. So add a trigger. If I tell click, that is tap. If I tap on it, what do I wish to do? Color. So what is the color that I wish to change for it? I can give the color over here. So it should become red color. Okay, then for this, what is it that it should happen? If I double tap or long press or fling or pull, so maybe let's say I will tell, if I touch down or tap only, I'll have to take. I'll not change color, but I will actually change the size of it, scale. So it should become scale to width. I can decide as 800 by 800. So you see, red, it became big. Can you see what is happening? This on clicking it became red. On clicking it should become big. So how big you can decide. So I gave 800 by 800. I can give it as 300 by 300. See, so it will scale only that much. And then for this one I can give something else, add trigger. If I click on it, let's say it's border color to change, I can give it some color, and then I can decide the width of those color 3. So you see, it got a border. So I'm resetting, this got a border, this got a color fill, this got a big. Did I code anything? No, I did not code anything. So same way, so let's say if I have to make a scroll of something, okay. So what I would do is, so this is one image that I have got here. I drag and drop the image. So this is the image which you all can see. Okay, I would like to make it look like a scroll. Okay, so I'm just reducing its size. So this is the image that I have put over here. You all can see it, right? And then there is something called as container. Okay, so I put this container, and inside this container I am adding this. So when I am previewing it, okay, you can see this. Currently there is no scroll. Okay, but to this container I have options over here as to what is it that it should do in this container. Fixed height, fixed width. So I'm telling fixed width. Okay, so fixed width, so no fixed height. I'll actually do it as fixed height also. So see, scrolling page, scroll. Which direction it should scroll, left or right or top or bottom? So it should be bottom. And let's see the preview. See, so did I code anything? No, I just put it and it just got over there. So that is how you prototype it. And Photoshop, you will use it to design anything. So this is the screen size of mobile, 1080 by 1920. That is the pixels that you take. 1080 is the width, 1920 is the height. That is the actual resolution of HD video recording or your screen resolution that you generally get. And then this is how your Photoshop software looks. I hope my screen is visible.
And your screen is not visible.
My screen is not visible. Okay. Yeah, so this is how Photoshop looks. So the size for any designing any of your photo app would be 1080 by 1920. And over here then you will start designing whatever you would like to design in your app. So let's say if I wish to add anything as a graphics or anything that I wish to do, you will have to design all of it over here. So I'll add my rectangle, let's say. So over here I'll get all the options as to how I want it to look, how it should not look. So let's say I want my background of the app to be black color. So I'll just decide it as black. And then you will actually design whole of the app on this. So similarly, each of the screen that you seen in an app, it is designed in some or the other application. Either it is in Photoshop or you could use as any other app that could do. Adobe XD also is used for designing, and that's how it works. I will Yeah, will it will work with the same resolution on laptop? No, the laptop resolution is the opposite. 1920 is the width and 1080 is the height. So just the opposite of it. And I'll open up for questions and then I will take it forward if there's something. But I'm sure you all would have got a basic idea as to how you plan it, and then you execute your whole steps from idea. You make the wireframe, then you make the user design, and then you take it forward to prototyping it, and then you take a customer research, and then you come back, you make the changes, and then you go into the final stage, that is programming part of it. So that is how. So what is the basic difference between graphic designer and a UX designer? So a graphic designer will be more towards designing the UI and all of that, but UX designer is more towards how people would think. It's from other people's point of view, and this is how it all goes. You ideate, and then you prototype, and then you test, and then again it goes back as to what is the purpose that you are doing it, and then what is it that you're solving. In define, it is more about what is it that you're solving, and based on that you come up with an idea, then you prototype it, and then you test it out. So that is how you go. So this is all about user interface that we learn, and then you design it, that is the user experience, and then it goes on from there. I will not get into this technicalities. I can share this PPT so that you all can check it later also, but I will be happy to take insights from people so that it's easier for people to know. So how can you learn more about it? The first step is you need to learn design first, I will tell. because if you can design it properly, only then you will be good at making a good experience for the people. And majorly it starts about, what you can innovate. So for example, I showed you an innovation in OTT apps. Like I can make people select their mode, and then I can make the swipes of movies left and right. So that's a kind of innovation which attracts people. So that is something that you need to come up with innovation in an existing app also. And once you innovate, it's then all about how you design. So all the innovation and the ideation would start on pen and paper. So that's all about how you start. And there'll be n number of drawings. It doesn't end with just one or two screens. So like you saw the wireframes, all of that was previously drawn on paper, and then it is then drawn on computer to know it in more detail, and then thereafter it all goes into the UI design, and after that the prototype. Yeah. Any other questions that people would like to ask? Feel free to ask. You will have to design separately for laptop, yes. So you design separately for mobile, and you also design separately for web in terms of designing. But when you are coding it, it's all coded together. So that is called as responsiveness, whether the uh, web page is coming properly on mobile or not. That's all about the responsiveness. So I'm looking for some answers to come in over here. One, not answers, I will tell questions, and then I'll be happy to discuss. So there are a lot of courses to learn this. I can suggest few of them. Yeah, you can start on Coursera also. There are a lot of UI UX this thing. So if I have to tell you what is it that you should learn first, I would tell you should learn Photoshop first. That is the basics for anything that you want to do it in UI UX. And it's more about your mental ability of thinking how you can innovate. So for that to happen, it's more about process. So it's all about the mental ability. So mental ability, it's all about how quickly you evolve, how fast you take it up. And coming to how many days it might take, it's completely no limit on this. So it's not like number of days. But to become a good designer, I would tell it's more about the hours of practice you put in. And to learn prototype or any of these prototyping tools, I think 10 days is more than enough to learn them. It won't take more than 10 days for you to learn prototype or prototyping, but it might take you lots of time and practice and patience to learn more about design and how good you are designing it. So the best is you can use behance.net. You can open with https, otherwise it would not open. So when you open it, you will get a lot of design inspiration and insight. So you can just search over here. You can search for UI design, and you will get a lot of people how they design the UI for apps, how they make it look good. So you can just see how they have done, what is the research behind it. So you will get a lot of inspiration. You can start learning from what are the fonts that they have used to design, what are the colors, and then all of that you can. So it's more about design. Okay, if you look into it, it will again, all of it will come back into how well you have designed, how good are your graphics. Only then your app will look good. See, all of this is nothing. It's all about design. Only then it looks good. So what you see is what people will feel like using it, and only if the design is good, they will go into the next step, that is the experiencing it. So yeah, so there is, design might take some time to learn, but prototyping might not take much time to learn. I will tell YouTube is best. There are a lot of courses available on YouTube on UI UX design. Adobe XD is free to use, and Adobe by itself has a full course on using Adobe XD, right from UI design to experience design. Adobe XD on their Adobe website has a full course available for free, so you can just sign up for a free ID and you can take the full course of it. I think that course for you to complete might take 15 to 20 days, but it is a good course that you can do it. Any other questions that people would like to ask? Feel free to. So I can talk about in YouTube, you can just go on Adobe's channel. Adobe has everything. They have made a separate this thing a playlist for learning UI UX. So Adobe channel is what you can look into to start off with. There are various many other channels, but I would not like to name any because you can maybe it works for somebody else. It doesn't work for everybody. So it will be great if you go and then browse it yourself. But Adobe is something that you can take it as a common this thing because it teaches you right from basics. Every tool it will explain you step by step. So that is the best I could recommend. And I'm sure there are a lot of people who are covering this topic in Telugu language or Hindi language. So you will have a lot of videos on YouTube in your local languages also. Very so it's easy to learn UX point of view where you're creating the prototype and all of that. But it's very difficult to come up with the innovation as to how you're making the experience much better than the other app. So, what better can you do in Zomato? Existing app, what else can you improve? That is the key important part. So, if let's say Ola is an app, what more you can do in Ola that they are getting more increase in sales or orders or something. So that is where UI UX comes in place as to what you can innovate to solve a particular problem in a easier or simpler manner.
Thank you, Karan. I think the time is up.
No
Uh,
problem. I hope it helps people to get a basics of what exactly happens.
Yeah, thank you so much for coming over and sharing a lot of inputs. I believe that a lot of us have learned during your session. All right, so about tomorrow. Tomorrow we have Sharon Baraka. She is a fashion designer, and she'll be talking about the careers and basics of fashion designing. So you can come
Excuse me,
tomorrow.
Rishoni,
Oh,
excuse
sorry,
me.
sorry.
So tomorrow the session is on persona designed by Vijay Karthik, one of the training and placement officer at CMR Group. So yeah,
Oh, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. I messed it up. Okay, so tomorrow's session is by Vijay Karthik on Career and Persona. I'm so sorry, guys. So you can join us tomorrow, and also please check out our social media platforms, Instagram, Facebook, and everything. All our updates are there, and also we're doing a food donation drive for migrant workers around the city. So you can join us and donate to us as well. Thank you so much for joining us.
So I'll do one thing. Many people are asking if I can get the PPT and all of that. It will be great. You all can reach out to me. I will just give my email ID over here, and it will be great that you all can ask your questions or anything over here, and I'm just putting it in the chat so that will help you.
Okay.
uh, and
Sounds great. Thank you so much for coming over, Karan.
yeah, you're welcome. Thank you. Everyone, I'll take a leave. Thank you. Bye everybody.
Bye bye.
thank you, Karan. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.